Oh, hey friends, welcome to the vibes.
That was so good. That was so.
Yes, sir. We about to get into the vibes. A couple things we wanna share with y'all. And we are going to start off with some news. Um,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
rich
your
homie
boy, man.
Quan has passed, has died.
It's such an out of blue message. It's such an out of the blue
Event.
news headline. He just randomly just appeared across I found out just through IG.
Hmm.
And he from what I saw, like the comments under the post that I saw, um, it had to do with some kind of OD. We know a lot of these guys they do be on them. Well, in Miami we call them beans, but they be popping pills. Um, and yeah, that's what a lot of folks have been saying. I'm not sure if there's like an official autopsy report that's out, but
So I was
that's
actually
what's been said.
reading about this. So Georgia Fulton County Medical Examiner said the examination had been completed a day after Quan, whose legal name is DeQuantus Devontae Lamar,
That's
died
quick.
in an Atlanta hospital. He was 33 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the cause and manner of death are pending the completion of laboratory studies and microscopic examination of tissue slides,
Mm-hmm.
the medical examiner said. So I guess it's not like official yet, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe something like that. But that's tough.
Yeah.
Also Fat Man Scoop died. Fat
That
Man
did you
Scoop is
did you see the footage of?
oh, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that. I
Yeah,
imagine
bro.
I read the description like on stage.
Yeah, look, it looked pretty bad. Like just watching it, like when I saw it, I was like, whoa, that's a problem. Yeah.
There was a high school shorty that
Not pretty sight.
on the
Not a pretty
football
sight.
team.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading the other day too that a high school team, and he had a yeah, I think he was a safety. Maybe play safety or in receiving like,
Okay.
and he just collapsed on the field, and um, it turns out he died at the hospital, and then like
Dang.
they played the game. The game kept going, and the coach told them after the game, the team after the game, yeah, your buddy that that collapsed on the field, he died. I don't know exactly what he died of, but like that's some crazy joint. You like, but
That's
in
some
both
Damar Hamlin type
instances,
joint. That's wild.
in both instances, like it's kind of morbid, but
Yeah.
they both died what they doing what they love doing.
I mean, I suppose it's a
Your
silver lining
man's
thing,
was
but
on
it's
stage, Fat Man School, and
yeah.
the kid was playing football,
Mm-hmm.
doing his thing. Um, I don't know if it was like me. We had was it Demar Ham? Was it
Damar
Hamlin?
Hamlin. Damar Hamlin. Yeah,
Demar
he had the
Hamlin.
same.
Yeah,
He made a
he
tackle, stood back up, went right
played
back
that,
down.
and now he's back on the field.
Yeah.
The season started.
Yeah.
Is he still with the Bills?
I'm
I
not
think
sure
he should
actually.
probably be with the Bills. Like for marketing purposes, he should probably
Yeah.
still be with the Bills. If you know me, if their things scripted as it says. But yeah, man, we losing some like I mean it's
He's still with the
weird to
Bills.
say. Okay, that's dope. He's still with the Bills, so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely marketing. Like if anything, what I mean, get him on the field. Like it
Mm-hmm.
helps everything out for your program that you got going on. But like Rich Homie Klein was actually kind of like a low key veteran. You know what I mean? Like
He was.
think
He's been around for a minute,
he's been around for a minute, and
especially
for
when it
him
comes to
to
the Atlanta scene. Yeah, he's been around for a minute.
yeah. So that's it's a sad loss. I mean for hip hop culture. Um, and rest in power to both of those guys. This is still the honorable mention, and again covering some of the stuff we missed while we were gone. One of those was the big event of Deadpool and Wolverine. That Wolverine, Deadpool, and Marvel, now it's under one roof kind of thing. They did it. They got them. They finally got themselves another hit.
Yep.
They tried it with all those like other, what was it, the Eternals and
Yeah,
Genshi
which
did
which
pretty
was a
decent, but the
Eternals
Marvels not.
eh, Eternals was a little bit of a flop.
Yeah, Quantumania wasn't is
Quantumania wasn't. Yeah.
wasn't hitting like that. I mean, I liked it, but I liked it
Mm,
because I the projection of what I thought was to come.
yeah.
But
for context, it's still relevant. So I mean, you still can watch it to get the context you need for like what's unfolding in the future. Um, and Marvel in general, it's really a few things that they put out that was actually been successful since the last Avengers Endgame.
I like the
Um,
series. I like the series, the TV
some of
shows, and all
them,
that kind of stuff. I like them.
it's really some of them. Some, I mean, quite a few of them are actually kind of trash, but like there's a few good ones.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that
like
Hawkeye one was kind of wet.
yeah, like WandaVision, Loki, obviously were the big ones. Moon, what is it? Moon Knight. Moon Knight
Yep,
was
that was
was
dope.
a was a very good one.
Loki, of course, that's
Yes,
huge.
I'm saying Loki. Yeah, Loki and WandaVision were definitely like the top tier ones for sure. And and also Winter Soldier. That was actually very good as well.
Mhm.
Um, so Marvel is definitely kind of like they're trying to like slow feed a lot of folks, I think, in a way. But trying to like
Well, they're
feed.
still trying to recoup. They're trying to pivot because of what happened with Jonathan Majors and
Yeah, that
stuff, and
too. Yeah,
and plus the fact that just killing off um
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man. You know what I mean? And
It's a
now,
big void to fill. I understand. Yeah,
yeah, and now they're bringing him back
mm,
as Doctor Doom.
I could do him. Yeah.
I think it would have been dope if they This is why I don't watch trailers. This is why I don't watch trailers, man. They be getting
Mm-hmm.
way too much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine if you was in a theater, you got your popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
you've been watching probably like 22 minutes of this movie, and you're in there, you're deep into it. They're building this universe out for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking a sip of that drink, and then Doctor Doom is revealed as freaking Robert Downey Jr. Like, that's the first time you ever saw. Like, you'd be like, "What the fuck is happening?" You would spit out your drink.
Bro, that would be insane, bro.
It would have been nuts. You'd have been in the theater
That would
seeing
be
that for the
insane.
first
Yeah,
time. The
yeah.
the internet would have went crazy with the people that
But
saw like the
but
midnight
people,
showing.
but the thing is, it can never be that way because of the power of the internet,
It
right?
would
There's
have.
always gonna be leaks. People are always gonna like find ways to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, but
Yeah,
I do.
but even the leaks would have been at least secluded down to like blog culture, Reddit. It would have
Okay,
been on Reddit somewhere. You
it
know what I mean?
definitely
It
would
wouldn't
have
have been
Reddit.
it wouldn't
Mm,
have been on like it wouldn't have been on like Facebook and these big ones and Twitter and stuff like that. Because
mm,
it'd be like, nah, these are tin hat wearing, they're just conspiracy theorists
mm,
kind of thing. Like,
mm,
no, trust me, it's gonna be Robert Downey Jr. Then like
mm,
you play the telephone game, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, freaking
mm,
Thor is the next freaking Iron Man or some shit.
mm,
You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So it's like there's a lot of skepticism that you can use to like block that out and not believe it.
mm.
But they put the joint out. They just put the joint out. Comic Con. Straight
They
up. They were
did.
Comic Con. Here we go.
They did. They
It's
did just
gonna
do
be
that.
me. I'm back, baby.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like the freaking what's it called? The Lazarus of or the Jesus of the MCU probably. You know,
Pretty much.
risen from the dead. This dude comes back. So it's like
Mm.
I won't mind him being there because there's alternative
Alternate universes
universes and
and
all that kind of
timelines and
stuff
like,
that's going
mm,
on. You know
mm.
what I mean? In the comic book already has a history of that where Doctor Doom becomes
Yes.
Iron Man, and so
Mm-hmm.
there's already so like I get it. There's
Mm.
that, so there's a chance that, but like let it happen. Don't like you didn't need to do the marketing ahead in front on the front end. Like, hey, people, we're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. Come watch our movies again. Like, no, just do the thing, and then like,
They marketed that joint 2 years in advance, man.
come on, dog. Like,
Yeah.
people will come. Like, feel the
Yeah,
dreams.
it
So
is
you
Marvel.
build
People will
it, they
definitely
will
come. Yeah,
come.
they will.
You know what I mean? You build a cult following. Like all these artists, like kind of told y'all that's the formula. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, all that we try to talk about Deadpool,
Yeah, yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine. So the point is, Deadpool and Wolverine is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's a lot of comedy. Deadpool movies are gonna be like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's officially like a Deadpool movie and not an X-Men movie or a Wolverine movie. He had Logan and all that. Wolverine has his own like series, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think it's a Deadpool movie. I'm gonna say it's a solid Deadpool movie that
Mm-hmm.
does tie in. Um, it's a good introduction into the cinematic universe that we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's the synchronicity is gonna be like it's gonna work out,
Mm.
especially if they like lean into some of these like the characters that give them the most character and funny and like um uh interest. Like don't do these like the side character. If you do that, you leave the side characters a lot for maybe like the TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
You could build them up and then maybe introduce them into a movie later on. That's what I would say. Anyways, So moving on, the
That's
other
fair.
TV show I would recommend in terms of a honorable mention is Slow Horses. It's a spy thriller kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
which is like it's almost like so Childish Gambino has the TV series of Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but also there was this TV show back in the day called Shameless. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes.
Shameless. So it's
Yes.
kind of like a Shameless meets Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Okay.
right? And the main guy is like sloppy or whatever, but like he's
Mm.
nice somehow. I don't know.
Mm.
He's like I sent you a clip of it where
Mm-hmm.
he was like in
Yeah.
the limousine and he farted.
Yeah, he's a wild person, bro. He's a
That dude
wild
is
person.
that dude is wild, but he's
Yeah.
like nice with everything. He's like
Mm.
nice with it. He's like
Mm.
think always thinking like 10 steps ahead and stuff.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's weird to like follow his character arc. But
Mm.
I didn't think I'll be that into the show. Slow
I mean,
Horses is on
it's
it's on Apple TV.
yeah, it's didn't they were they nominated for like some kind of Emmy or something like that? Because it's
Apparently, yeah, they ended up
yeah,
being they
it's
was
actually a very
nominated.
good show. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I didn't think I'll be that into the show. I was like, let me watch a couple episodes. But I'm in enough into it where now I freaking caught up. I caught up.
Yeah, I
So
know that
now I
feeling.
gotta wait freaking week to
Yeah,
week with the joint.
yeah.
This is why I wait to watch shows, so I don't have
Yes.
to wait week to week. Then I'm like
Facts.
5 seasons
Facts.
behind, but it's a freaking UK show, and they only have 6 episodes for freaking
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Yeah.
If this was Walking Dead, though, they have like 20 episodes to go. I'm like season two.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like America, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But freaking the shit is a UK show. 6 episodes, so I'm all caught up, and I'm ready for the shits to see what they got. So
Mm-hmm.
check out Slow Horses on Apple TV.
Okay.
All right. Honorable mention also is going to be a little weird this time because we've been off for so long. I have like a bunch of like there's a bunch of music to catch up to here in the vibes. I saved the featured ones, but I did have to make a shout out to a couple of the projects that came out. That these artists put a lot into it, and I'm sure they're doing their best,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're trying their hardest.
Yeah.
Big Sean came out with a better me than you.
Mm-hmm.
It's contemporary rap album. It's a little bit slow speed, more contemplative kind of music.
Okay.
Check that out. It's at least worth a listen to, right? That's why
Mm-hmm.
you come here to the challenge because at least it's worth a listen. We talked about Kalani last time. Kalani has another album out. It's called While We Wait 2. And so that other album was like maybe like 6 months ago, and here's another one. So check that one
And
out.
it's the same title. It's just this is just part two, I guess.
No, no, the other one was Crash. I think the
Oh,
Crash.
okay.
The
Okay.
last one. So this might have been from like the part one might have been like a mixtape or something like that,
Mm.
or an early album. She kind of like does the R&B singing a little bit. She, you know, it's like contemporary R&B, the new art, the
Mm.
new stuff. The was that the term? We had a term. We came up with the
Progressive
term.
R&B is what we call it.
Progressive, yeah, progressive R&B.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird if it's they rapping or they singing kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, new album. It's okay. It's I like the last album better. So this
Mm-hmm.
got some. I'm thinking maybe this might have been a mixtape or something like that, right?
Mm.
Juicy J has an album. It's called Rave
For
Night
Juicy
Social
J.
Club. This is
Okay.
so speaking of like a new age contemporary kind of R&B. This is actually a jazz rap album. It's a so that's a new
Hmm.
age kind of rap kind of feel like. And Robert Glasper though is the main producer on this thing,
Okay.
and love Robert Glasper. That Black Radio series, if you haven't listened to that, it's like his albums, particularly like the Black Radio like one. It's the top. It's probably one of the top 10 greatest albums of all time. Just like musically, of all genres of all time. It
What
if
album is
if
this?
this is Robert Glasper.
The Raspberry Glasper.
Yep, Robert Glasper. It's
Mm,
it's all instrumental.
mm.
You know, no, 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 that one it wasn't all instrumental, but it's predominantly instrumental,
Okay.
right? And he has guest artists come on there, so it's
Mm-hmm.
it's such a freaking amazing album. I had the vinyl, had to get the vinyl. for, for that joint, right? Okay, and so check that out. And so he produced, the Doechii J album, Rave Night Social Club, and again, it's a jazz rap, so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
Shabuzi, Zach Bryan, Jelly Roll, they collaborated on an instrumental country album. It's called Country Love Forever. Um, See, there's some really good music on there. I'm like, I wish I had a verse. I wish I had a verse. Like, I don't mind instrumental, but like country instrumental, I never did that before, and it's like,
Country
dang,
love.
it's a good song. God damn it, I wish I heard like a Sturgis Simpson verse on here,
Mm-hmm.
or Shabuzi, and who's part of the production team, but he doesn't like rap or sing or anything like. Damn it,
Yeah.
I wish I had somebody to give me a verse on that joint, Zach Brown band or something like that on some of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is great music. Just waiting for somebody to just jump on it and like
Mm-hmm.
make some freaking magic. Ransom and Conway the Machine, and Vidon also dropped um an album. What was that joint called? What was that? What was that album called? I forget what it's called. I had it up a second ago. Um, it's called Chaos is My Ladder 2, right? Um, the
Mm-hmm.
the album is dope. I love anything Griselda related. You know that.
Yeah.
Um, one of our featured artists is Griselda also. Um, and these dudes be putting out work. One of the things that specifically stood out for me for listening to this album was an insight. I had an epiphany, a light bulb went off that I never thought about before. So remember we had a couple years ago, and we talked about it with the Writers Guild was on strike
Mm-hmm.
for
I do
Hollywood,
recall
right?
that. Yes.
Um, and then before then it was the Actors Guild, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
they had all these negotiations, all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, it's the reason they're on strike is because they're in a union,
Mm-hmm.
and so they can withhold their labor until the negotiations and terms are met. Why don't artists have this? Why isn't there a union for rappers? All these rappers that got like thumped upside the head for those contracts in the
Mm-hmm.
90s
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, those 360
and
deals and all
early
that. Yep.
2000s, like, yo,
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a
if they
lot of
had a
it's a lot of
union, none of that
mm-hmm.
junk. Like, what the hell?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah.
Why is it? And so he was talking about this joint. He said something about like,
It's because a lot of artists were even uneducated about that side of it, about the contractual side
yeah,
of it. So that's why a lot of them got taken
especially
advantage of.
hip hop.
Yeah, especially hip hop.
He,
Yeah.
he goes, he goes, yo, he says, they tried to, I think he said they tried to form a union, but then they did some, the industry did some joint, and it acted like, I think they said Jay Prince had, and put Jay Prince all over it. So like, and like they crushed the union, but they made it like seem like one of the, like the producers or A&R or something like that was the reason for it, that the industry crushed the union, that the record labels crushed the union.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, so where we are now, instead of owning hip hop, instead of slanging hip hop all those years, we just end up slanging drugs. We could have been owners of hip hop from the jump and been like the union of us. And like instead we got they got built out of their contracts to where they still have to be on the streets, do street shit.
Hmm.
And then they had to do street shit to rap about, which gave them notoriety, which is what the industry promoted and
Mm-hmm.
the people listened to. And so
Mm-hmm.
people wanted more of. So they had to keep doing the street shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they could have been owners of hip hop and been slinging Tom Ford as suits instead of wearing ski mats and hoodies.
Mm-hmm. The real gangsters are on Wall Street, man.
The real
Or the real
gangsters
gangsters
is
wear
out
suits
here
and ties.
wear suits, wear Tom Ford.
They wear
Like
Tom
I said,
Ford.
so yo, this
Yeah.
that Ransom is always spitting that. that
Mm-hmm.
fucking like truth to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you got Conway. You know what I mean? So for them to come together and put this run together, so it was dope. It's still just an honorable mention, definitely worth a listen to. Um, but I recommend it, and and that's just stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
That message just stuck with me. It's so wild to me that's the situation that we're at. But people are turning things around now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Becoming entrepreneurs and owning other legitimate
Owning their
stuff, getting out
masters
the
and all that
game.
stuff.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, freaking Shine is a freak. Was he prime minister or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Where is that? You know what I mean? So
What Caribbean country that is? I can't remember what Caribbean.
it's not Barbados, is it?
I ain't gonna lie. I was in my head. I was thinking Barbados, but I can't remember what it is. I gotta look it up. Can't remember what it is. But he's living a full life right now.
Yeah, that boy living a
Sure.
full life. So things are
Yeah.
turning around, and
Mm,
for the rap game. We got Jay owns title a whole streaming service kind of
mm-hmm.
thing. He went through it, so you don't hopefully you don't have to go through that kind of thing. But yeah, that message stuck with me, and it's like, wow, somebody needs to put this on the agenda. Put this on
Mm-hmm.
the goddamn agenda. We need to develop a freaking union for the artists because they wouldn't be at least for the up and comers they would be appreciative of that joint. It's for their own good because right now they really got to freaking bend over backwards for freaking the algorithm.
Absolutely.
What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too.
Okay, so on to um our main featured albums, starting off with Yemi Alade, um or Alade. Rebel Queen is the album. This should go without saying, but Afro pop and Afro music has been really bastardized to the point where it's really dismissive of all other music from the continent
Mm,
because there's so much different kinds of music. I
mm-hmm.
mean, we went to like the whole my piano thing before. Like there's so many
Yes.
different kinds of music that anything that we hear because of our like untrained ears coming out of there, be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that's Afrobeat or that's Afro pop, and that's kind of like, yeah, it covers everything. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
No further exploration needed, right? Um, but she she put out this body of work that pays respect to. Is very versatile. There's a lot of different styles in there.
Mm-hmm.
She grabs energy and themes from matter of fact, she's speaking like 6 different languages throughout this album at one
That's
point in
impressive.
time. At one point in time,
That's impressive.
6 different languages. So like, she really wants. She's more like, I represent Africa than
Mm,
specifically. I think she's is she yep, she's Nigerian. And
mm,
rather than just being specifically uh Nigerian heavy, she
mm-hmm.
really focuses on like the representation of Africa, it just being like an African a representative of Africa in general.
Okay.
Overall, Rebel Queen, the name of the album, there is a testament to Yemi's growth as an artist. The album is cohesive. It blends a different musical style and themes and tied together by her unmistakable voice and powerful storytelling. It's an album that's inspirational, infected with joy. Definitely check it out. But yeah, you get to move your body with it too, right?
Okay.
The next
That
one we have
works.
up is Cory Wong, Starship, Syncopation. This is this is a it's an instrumental album.
Okay.
It's a collaboration with the this Netherlands orchestra. It's called
Shout out to
Metropole
Nas.
Orchestra. right? Yeah, hey, we just had what you call it, do a jazz album with Robert Glasper. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean. They're man, hip hop is expanding,
Hip
and
hop is
so
doing
that's
something.
a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this one specifically not hip hop, but Cory Wong collaborated with this orchestra last year off of like just like a track or two or something. He did like he did some performance with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, I could do something with this.
Mm-hmm.
And they came out with a whole album
Or
now,
album. Mm.
a whole freaking album, and that
Very
joint
good.
slap.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful stuff. I had a note about this that they see themselves as the preeminent leading pop and jazz orchestra in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is not your typical like Bach or Beethoven kind of orchestra. This is a this is a jazz pop orchestra. They still have all the strings and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's what helped make this album so beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
is that because they have such a plethora of instruments that they get to work with.
Yeah.
Bro, I think every instrument was played at some point in this album.
Mm-hmm.
It covered every instrument that's ever been existed by mankind. At some point, it
Okay.
gets a note or two on
Okay.
this freaking album. The
Mm-hmm.
whole crew has done a really masterful job in blending all of the vast musical resources at hand to come up with a very special mixture of to fuel the joy and journey. Now, Cory Wong ties it all together
Mm-hmm.
because he's the main guitarist, and we talked about him. I forgot whose album, or he's part of some other band we talked about before, but he plays funk. It's a funk album. That's his main thing. So it's a funk album
Okay.
with with a pop jazz orchestra. It's so good. It's
Mm.
so
That's
damn
interesting.
good.
Yeah.
It's funk and Jeff. It's swing. It's swing.
So they getting
It's
down.
it's swing
They
too.
getting down. Okay.
They getting down. They getting
Yeah.
busy, bro. So
That's kind of
throw
nice.
that on, and that's in the sort of album. Of course, like you could definitely multitasking because it's all
Mm-hmm.
instrumental,
Mm-hmm.
right? Go do your thing. Like cook dinner. Oh man, I was cooking with this joint on,
Mm.
cutting up vegetables and stuff. Like I can't
Mm.
get nothing done. I can't get shit done.
Okay.
Dog.
Okay.
I couldn't boil an egg, dog. Just like
Mm.
how they freaking vibing out, man. So that was dope. Um, Next one up, Benny the Butcher, Summertime Butch, Roselda. Your man's of course from Buffalo. This is his
Mm.
seventh album. It's full of a bunch of summer anthems,
Mm.
summer songs. Uh, I mean, I felt some type of way because I'm listening to Benny,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just listening to Conway.
Mm.
God, dude, what's up, man?
It's all the same collective. So be all right.
No, man, but they're not. With them and West Side Gun, man. Like, I need the trio. I need the trio, dog.
but
Like, and I
but
see
they.
it's like they're competing.
I mean, in a way, they kind of have to if they want to establish themselves as like solo artists that aren't depending on their collective in order to have the
Man,
success and all that
there
stuff.
was a specific magic though, man, that they feed off of each other with, man.
They should just take the whole. They should just do um the whole playbook with Quavo and those guys. Unfortunate for uh the guy that passed, but like they should take the
Uh,
whole playbook from them. Where like as collective, like yeah, they gonna hit, but like they have their own solo careers that they've launched as well.
I
Um,
mean that's what's happening
yeah,
right now. But like,
seems to be a winning formula.
I like this. Nah, man, but I don't mean Quavo album ain't never been no. Quavo ain't never have an
Well, yeah, but I'm
album
saying the
bigger than the
formula though.
Migos did.
Yeah,
The
that's
person
true.
that worked out for is Beyonce over Destiny's Child. That worked out for them. But like,
Yeah, well, yeah.
you know,
Mm.
freaking even let me see who else. I was gonna say
I mean, it worked out.
Big
It
Boy
worked out for
albums
it worked out
wasn't
for
as big
Justin
as any
Timberlake.
Outkast.
Justin Timberlake got started when he left the NSYNC. It
Yeah,
worked out for him.
it,
Yeah,
it rarely it works out
but
sometimes. It rarely works
yeah,
out.
but it works out less times than it does more often.
Yeah, man, but I would
Yeah,
really appreciate just them putting the
it's just
band
doing
back
it.
together, man. Just
Yeah.
do that. Now this album by from Benny, is um is the second album this year. Everybody Can't Go came
Mm-hmm.
out in January.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually like that album better than this one. This one actually kind of felt a little short too. But it's still good. It's still good stuff. Just it's a quick album. Uh, it was a good album, and it gives you like it's like a shot in the arm of what
Mm-hmm.
could be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I really thought of featuring this album. It's a lot of upbeat stuff. It's more positive feeling in a more positive vibe. So it
Mm-hmm.
is like a summer kind of album.
Okay.
So that's kind of what really makes me like really want to lean towards that album.
Mm-hmm.
The other one would be a little bit more introspective, a little bit more dark, a little bit more gritty.
Mm-hmm.
But this it's a good album. So check it out, Summertime Butch. Especially if you're looking for some new bars, like yo, you can't miss. Next we have Travis Scott. So this is a re-release days before Rodeo. So Rodeo came out in 2015. Days Before Rodeo is a mixtape that he just had out on SoundCloud,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, man, and he was like, bro, he had some like features on that joint too. Do I have a list of who those features was? I know Future was on that joint. Ti was on that joint. Yeah, Quavo, Young Thug.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's nobody
Yeah,
you can.
and this was Days Before Rodeo. This was a mixtape. Like what the? So he was like, this was before he dropped his first album, you know? Um, but bruh, this joint, so he did a re-release because this is the 10-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So he did a re-release, and so it's like deluxe and it's like remastered and all that kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
like, bruh, the joint sound like it could come out today. And Travis Scott is already one of
Mm.
the biggest in the world. People have
Yeah.
died at his concerts.
Yes.
People have died to
Yeah.
see Travis Scott speak.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
So insane to me.
And then he drops this joint
Mm-hmm.
after 10 years. So the cult following that he might have had from what was it, SoundCloud, wherever the hell
Mm-hmm.
he freaking
Mm-hmm.
like SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
They used to clown. Remember they used to clown Sound. Oh, you a
Yeah.
SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
Now he's the biggest artist in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest freaking artist, especially like with Drake taking a nap. Like, so he released that joint,
Yeah.
man, and it's doing crazy numbers. The release is doing
Yeah. I'm
crazy
seeing
numbers.
the
It's got
plays.
some
Plays are
tracks have
wild.
like 100 million plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just
Yeah.
off of like one app. You don't even know what the other apps got.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's a mixtape, but it sounds so fresh. It sounds so like consistently him to
Mm-hmm.
be like, yo, he's still that guy. And he stayed true to it, and people just like rock with him.
I mean,
People just rock with it.
he's become a brand like at this point, especially
Mm-hmm.
like his involvement in like obviously like the collabs with sneakers and all that stuff now too. So like he's definitely expanding the way that he
Oh,
should.
Rich Homie Quan, R.I.P. Rich Homie Quan was
Yeah, he
on the
got him on
album.
one. Yeah, he got
He got
on
him
the
on
song
one
too.
there. Big
Yeah.
Sean, Migos. Um, yeah, and he did a lot of he himself. Travis Scott did a lot of the production on here
Mm.
himself. That boy just been like he was born for this,
Been working. Yep.
and he put in the work. That's the
Hmm.
other thing. Too. He put in that work. We see it now.
Yeah.
The way he is freaking selling out stadiums and going worldwide tours and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like from SoundCloud, he did this joint.
Hmm.
So shout out to him. Listen, give that another listen. Now we have Doechii, Alligator Bites Never Heal. So in this joint, Doechii, by the way, from Tampa, signed to TDE, right?
Hmm.
She's coming. I'm not completely sure if this is a mixtape or if it's an album. I feel like I've been reading like different people referring to it in different ways. Maybe it's a like her official studio mixtape or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure. It's dope. Female rapper. Uh, she she raps with confidence. Uh, and she talks about drugs and stuff like that. But I think she's like very sober in this album. Like it's
Mm.
introspective. She has like her inner monologue, like raps as well, and she
Mm-hmm.
like interacts with it on some, you know what I mean, on tracks
Mm-hmm.
and like She brings you into like it's like a psych. It's like walking through her mind,
Mm-hmm.
like a mind field, right? So very very open in her. It reminds me a lot of a lot of dang. What was the one artist we listened from Kara City? We were saying I forgot last time we talked about.
Bro, what's cuz name? Dang, that's crazy. I
That's crazy.
just
I can't believe I forgot his name.
yeah, yeah.
But
Denzel
he's
Curry.
Denzel Curry. Yeah, Denzel
Yeah.
Curry. But it's like a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
introspection, like but but out loud, right?
Mm,
Um, but I think it might be mixtape. So I don't know what chances if it's not a mixtape. I don't know what chances it has for like any um any award talk. But
mm-hmm.
like, bro, TDE did it again. TDE, like they are about that curation.
Mm,
Like they curate their stuff. You're
mm.
not gonna be trash. Joining TDE, we have a reputation to uphold.
Sure.
Now the thing is that she does want to lean into a little bit of the like the singing rap kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about how she's not getting much support for that, like from TDE. I don't know if she said it
Mm.
explicitly, but like they kind of like giving her a gentle nudge to stick to the rap, right? But kind of contemporary rap has a little bit of singing that goes with it, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why would they try to persuade her
I don't
away
like
from that?
yeah,
Like
they
that's
like
weird.
they want to like, but like she's dope as a rapper though,
Yeah,
you know. But maybe I don't know. It's
it's
probably
not
part of
today's.
the creation to be like,
Mm,
no, we doing these. We see you as a rapper. That's the lane we're going to promote you as.
mm,
So I don't know. I'm just
it's kind
speculating
of
there,
weird. Yeah.
but you know, it's I mean, shout out to her. She's from the swamps of Florida
Mm-hmm.
to the global stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tampa there, you know, Doechii. So shout out to her. Check out that album. Tobe and Nwigwe dropped an album. It's called Hood Hymns. This album was quite interesting because it's like that rare gospel album that your pastor might say, "Mm, no, you should skip that one. Don't listen to it. It's a
Mm,
it's a gospel album, right?" We're like, wait a
mm,
minute, pastor don't want to listen to it. It's called Hood Hymns, and
mm,
like perfect title for what it is. It's like it's that stuff where rappers be rapping about God and being Christian, but none of their lyrics would ever because they talking about hoes and bitches
mm,
and freaking killing people. Like not he's not doing that stuff.
mm.
But if you're one of those rappers, this would be a gospel album for you. Is what I would say. This ain't the
Okay.
like, no, I'm legit church going, tithing,
Mm-hmm.
waiting till marriage type kind of. Oh, don't watch Harry Potter because that's the devil.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't that deep. It's the way like rappers and ball players do the when they score a touchdown kind of
Yeah,
album.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
know exactly what you're talking
Meanwhile, they
about.
got 4, 5 baby mamas. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? They're
yeah,
all kinds of gambling and stuff like that,
yeah.
drugs and alcohol. And they're living this
It's
what
for the
Christians would describe as sinful life.
yeah. It's for the commercial Christians, not the ones that actually
Commercial
lived it.
Christians. There
That's what
you
it's for.
go.
Commercial Christians. Yeah.
But man, the vocals and the instrumentation,
Oh yeah, yeah. He's actually very talented in that area. He has some. He got
that
some. He got a
boy,
team. He got a team for
yeah,
sure. He got a
got a
dope team.
squad on them, and
Yeah.
it's some beautiful stuff to listen to.
Mm.
I mean, but the message is like, Jesus, please save my niggas. That's like a
Mm.
lyric.
Yeah. I can see one of the names of the songs too. I can
That-
see.
That's like a lyric. What's
Yeah.
the name of the song? Hello, tell me what song. I'll find it if you want
It's
to
it's
say it.
it's it's number 7 on the album.
Number 7 on
Number 7
Toby's
on the
album.
album. I'm like, bro, that's a wild title.
Let me find this joint again,
I
man.
think I've heard him say that too before one time, and I was just laughing like, bro, this guy is a wild
Toby,
dude.
what did you do? Okay.
On
What's
Hood
this
Hands,
joint?
yeah, track 7.
I've been listening to so much music. I gotta scroll back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, I wonder, you'll see that. You'll see that. Yeah, that's. I want to see your reaction in real time, man. I was like, yeah,
I be saying that. You know what I mean? I be saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not even Christian. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like niggas do need Jesus.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, I was
Niggas
like, yeah,
need
that makes sense.
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes with the brand. That goes with the brand.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's that's what you get. That right
Yeah.
there is
Yeah, that right there is
encompasses
what that
the
literally,
album.
yeah, absolutely.
That's what the album is about.
Absolutely.
Check it out. It's a fun time. It's at least
Mhm.
worth a listen. I always say, right?
Mhm.
Next we have Nayla Sinephro. The album is called Endless. This is a follow-up to her 2021 album Space 1.8. It's meditative. It's I guess spiritual jazz.
Okay.
Um, but it also incorporates an orchestra, so another orchestra in the mix,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, I think I would describe it a mix of Andre's
The flute album.
flute album, um, Andre's flute album, maybe like jazz, like inspirational, like improvisational jazz,
Okay.
right? Like improv, like just straight, like because a lot of it seems like was that intentional,
Mhm.
or do I not get jazz, or is this jazz, or is like because that's the thing, like jazz is something supposed to keep you confused,
Mhm.
and also mixed in with like synth wave because there's some like electronica happening also,
So they got a lot of sense in there. Okay.
right? But like I said, I said, mixed in like an ambient sound album. It's
Yeah.
also like
Yeah.
weaved into that joint too. So
Okay.
very interesting listen. Her main instrument she plays is the pedal harp. So like
Wow, it's impressive.
the big one
Yeah.
joint, the big
Yeah.
joint,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
Okay. So it's it's very interesting.
That's a skill in
It's
itself.
it's well produced.
Mm.
I would have never put those three things together personally, but she
Mm.
did it. And
Pulled it off.
oh, but one thing that to add an extra layer of difficulty to it,
Mm-hmm.
it's a continuous segue album. So like it just bleeds to the next song continuously to the next song to the next song,
Mm.
which I'm always a sucker for that. So I got
Yeah.
trapped into that joint. I'm still I know like oh the album's over. I've been listening for the whole you know what I mean I think it's I forget what was the runtime for this joint. Does it say 45 minutes?
Mm.
Yeah, the entire 45 minutes. So and so good album. Check it out. Highly recommended. Um Speaking of orchestra, RZA. RZA, yeah, orchestra. A ballet through mud. It's RZA released, you know, Wu Tang RZA. Yes,
Mm.
that guy.
Same guy. Yep.
Same guy.
Mm.
He put out a ballet score. He put out a ballet score. So this is something actually he's been kind of working on for a while.
Mm.
He premiered it with the Colorado Symphony last year, and I watched him. He's on stage and he's got like his like turntables, you know what I mean, there, and
Mm.
like the orchestra in the back, and like he's got ballet dancers
Yeah.
doing kind of like an interpretive ballet. They're mixing in some like break
Okay.
dancing styles in there, mixed
Mm-hmm.
with ballet,
Mm-hmm.
because you know he's got the freaking turntables and you got your freaking conductor going crazy in the back with his like
Yeah. I
the
bet.
full band and stuff.
Mm.
And it's all instrumental. No rapping. It's all instrumental. I love
I mean,
seeing this.
RZA's a producer at his core. That's where he started from.
Yeah,
That's just, yeah.
yeah, and he's in his
So it makes
even
sense.
just like listen to his albums as you go through. You see this guy. You see he's on a journey.
Yeah.
He's on this like life journey.
Mm-hmm.
He's not trying to stay within some box that's people draw from. Like no, he's like the dude that made movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Facts.
you
He
know
literally made movies. Yeah. Even acting in some of them too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this dude is he's an artist.
Mm.
And this is just some dude that was on the block back in the day. We
Mm-hmm.
don't even know the untapped talent that's out there in these streets right now.
That's one of the things that I always find so interesting about that dichotomy. There's a lot of guys, man, who are just in the streets, bro. They just
Yep.
They didn't have the guidance to shift that energy, all that creativity, talent, all that all that energy. It didn't have the ability to have the right guidance, to shift it in the right place. So they get creative in other ways, right?
Yeah, and hopefully they're putting out ladders
So
behind them. Like, yo, I fucking figured this shit. Can you believe it? I hit.
yeah,
I hit.
that is the hope. That is the hope, right? That you got guys
Yeah.
who from the same type of situation that can like at
I mean,
least
they do that
remember.
heavy in Atlanta because there a lot of the
Oh yeah,
OGs in
they
Atlanta
plug them
put
in.
people
Yeah,
on. They plug them
for
in
sure, for
for
sure,
sure. So
for
that's
sure.
dope that they do
I mean,
that.
you got people moving from Florida that's going to Atlanta because of that plug,
Yeah,
or from Houston to, you know what I'm saying, like,
yeah.
because they see that Atlanta figured it out. You know what I'm saying? They
I've
figured it
heard
out. So
before. Atlanta's a black mecca. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so we
yeah,
can make it happen, and that could be black make fine.
uh
We'll do that.
yeah.
Um, the the album itself, this RZA's album here is he's a producer, like you said, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a
And
producer at heart. That's what he
and
really
and
does.
he the it's like a love story, or like a letter to his younger self. Is how the album kind of flows,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like it's a ballet, but through mud. It's like that. It's a whole like metaphor of a rose roaring through concrete. Could you imagine a ballet
Mm-hmm.
as elegant and as fragile and as clean and white, that it is, wearing all the white clothes and leotards and tutus and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
coming out the mud in that clothes,
Mm.
bleach ain't gonna get that bit out, and
Not
making
even
it
a
to
little
what
bit.
what this album was.
Mm-hmm.
Riz is like, this is a story of my life. And it goes through the highs and the lows and the crescendos of the music and the orchestra, and then like times where it feels like it gets more serious. It's a freaking adventure. And RZA is a freaking artist. He's an artist. He's not a rapper. He's a freaking artist.
Very cool.
Yeah, L Cool J. Speaking of cool, well done, Jeff. Okay, the Force. L Cool J.
It's man LL
Ladies
Cool J
love
out
Cool
here.
James. Well, like Rick Ross would say,
Mm-hmm.
living legend, Cool James. Album is called The Force. It's produced completely by Q-Tip. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
mean, I'm not calling it a comeback because LL say don't call it a comeback. I'm
Oh
not calling,
my
but
god.
it's a
Man, LL
it's
Cool J
a
about to be 60, man.
that boy about to get
he's
the
just
lick lipping.
he's
That
just
boy about
doing
to
this for
start
the
licking them lips all over again.
he's just doing this for the nostalgia, man. He ain't doing this for nothing
40
else.
years in the
Yeah.
game.
Surprised he even got the energy because he gonna have to tour this album too. So I'm surprised he even got the energy for all of this.
Bro, I'm not saying he's 40 years old. He's been in the game for.
Yeah,
We
he's been
just
in the game for a
celebrated Hip
minute, bro.
Hop 50.
Yeah.
This boy's been, dog. This dude's
I
been
think
in the game since hip hop was 10 years old.
yeah, I think he was like 16 or 17 or something like that when he started. Yeah. He was in that joint.
1985,
Yeah.
Radio.
Yeah, he was a shorty for real. Yeah.
1985, I was a baby.
Yeah, it's so crazy. He was yeah. To
I was a
see
baby.
to see where hip hop started from, to be at the, can you imagine just like viewing hip hop from his eyes, like to be there where like where it really started,
Yeah,
to like
he
where
was
it is
there,
now. Like this man was there the whole time. That's
living,
crazy.
living
Yeah.
legend, and he still freaking got it. Duh. Okay, so I'm 40 plus now.
Hmm.
So he's been in my hip hop life, my whole awareness.
Hmm.
Since I've been into hip hop, he's been in there.
Yeah.
Like, especially those early years.
Hmm.
And then I, I remember the Gap commercial he did, where he raps about FUBU in the Gap commercial. And
Mm.
they still ran that ad.
Yeah.
And that ad did numbers. He's freestyling off of Gap. He's
Mm.
representing FUBU for us by us
Right.
in a Gap ad.
That's
Um,
legit.
that boy is different. He still
Hmm.
got it. He still got the bars. His pen is still sharp. But low key, he's actually like one of the ones that really did it right. There's people that I've heard go to dinner that are stars with LL Cool J.
Hmm.
And you know how you let the guy with the biggest bank pay the tab?
Yeah. I've heard this story before.
LL has paid the tab.
Yeah.
Like he's low key like
I've heard this story.
got
before,
it like that.
Like,
I've never heard of him being a billionaire, but like, is he a billionaire?
He's worth 120 million. I mean, he's the man has, and that's just the reported income, right? So like, but I've heard like just watching a few videos here and there of like people talk about like LA Cool J, and they were like, this one guy. I remember one guy was talking about it. Was like, yo, I thought LA Cool J was broke. He was like, I
Crazy,
thought he was like, I thought he was broke.
crazy. You thought he was a has been, or he's
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, there are people that he was like, I didn't realize that he actually was like probably one of the richest guys I've ever been around. Like he was like, what is he making money for? Like he was so confused. He was like, how is he getting money? Like what is he not knowing that like Cool J like was one of the first to own his masters. He's a part of quite a few different production companies. He's obviously been in shows,
TV shows,
movies. So I mean,
and other albums still doing numbers,
yeah, exactly. And he's I mean, this man,
and he's been like in multiple eras.
Yeah, exactly. He's been in multiple eras, and like he's one of the few guys who like he gets a royalty pretty much every single day. like his music is everywhere. Like it's and of course international fans and all that. So that's a whole nother set of income there. Facts. I mean, he like you mentioned before, he's one of the guys that actually did it right from the music side and also the business side.
And for him to have started off so
rare.
young,
exactly.
He talks about the album. He says in the album that his mom took one of her refund checks and invested it in him when they was like, struggling, growing up.
Oh yeah,
she got a refund tax return.
She saw something in him for sure. Obviously. Yeah.
Invested in him. I guess she got him a freaking microphone and a radio. First album called Radio.
She had
boombox or whatever.
So as he blew up, she ain't had to work a day since.
She ain't had to work a day since. And that's what's up. You get there's all these opportunities we get like that random like. What are you gonna do with that refund check that you get? What did you do with that PPP loan? You could have really flipped that to be legitimate business.
Legit.
What did you do with the freaking $1,200 that the president gave you? You could have really helped stack that down payment for that house, whatever, you know what I mean, or car. So now you have a car to do Uber, and now that Uber gets you out the game. Next thing you know, you got a fleet of freaking private limos or something. I don't know, but like,
yeah, sure.
It's like, you really just need a spark, you know what I mean? But that talent is gonna shine through, boy. You got that talent. You could like, and we see how the talent, like legit, like he expanded to all kinds of other stuff.
Yep.
And now 40 years later, he got another album out, and that album still slap. That's grade A freaking talent right there, man. It's a masterclass of how to do it when you're older. Nas did it. Matter of fact, Nas is on here, Eminem's on here, Busta Rhymes is on here. Then he has a song with Sweetie. And I didn't know I needed that song in my life. But apparently I was missing that piece.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
But apparently with Sweetie, dog, like dope song. And then he introduced us some new artists in this track called The Vow. So there's a couple different artists on there. I freaking followed them now. I'm gonna get, I got their albums. I'm gonna give those a listen to, and because they was freaking hitting. You know what I mean with the joint that their verses. So shout out to LL. You know what I mean, still putting in that work. And he's gonna get the nostalgia vote. I don't know if it's gonna get a Grammy. It may get nominated.
He'll get a Lifetime Achievement Award at some point.
Maybe something like that. Yeah, but the nostalgia is gonna do a lot. To be like, yo, he came out. He came out during a time that this era, the music is different. This era, you know what I mean? It's different. Even Nas was still making some genuine Nas stuff, but by getting Hit Boy and some of these guys getting some of these newer producers, it gave it a newer, fresher feel so they could keep up with the times. But this joint has some like, it really felt like the 90s still. It really felt like the 90s still. And of course, like LL wouldn't be LL if he didn't have the song for the ladies on there. So
of course, got to.
And I remind everybody that Drake is the son of LL Cool J. All right. The Drake music that you like and love.
I see what you're saying.
He's standing on the shoulder of somebody like LL. So
okay, I can kind of see
LL has an album coming out this summer. Drake can't do that. Drake can't. Drake can't do that right now.
Drake gonna be all right.
It's
Man.
quiet for your boy Drake right. They can't do
Drake
that.
gonna be all right, man. I'm sure he's in the lab cooking up something, man. He gonna be all right, man.
The last up is Tyrese.
Mhm.
Beautiful Pain. Bruh. I think we got one. I think
Really, Tyrese got
think
some?
Tyrese got
I mean,
him
with
one.
all that nonsense he's been going through the past couple of years, he better have a dope album.
Well, that boy went through some things.
He went through some things.
And even for the rollout of this album,
Mhm.
it was like, what are you doing? He was doing some weird stuff. He like dressed up as Marvin Gaye for a national anthem that he sang at like a baseball game or something like that.
Mhm.
Like he had other controversies. He did like what did he do? He did the Shannon Sharp show. What's that joint called? Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay, yeah.
Right.
I haven't I plan on watching it. I haven't actually sat down to watch it.
I watched the clip of this joint. I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? I watched the clip and I was like,
I saw a clip. I was like, I need to like
okay.
actually watch the context of all this.
All right, so on here we have songs inspired by Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, like Hear My Dear,
Mhm.
the album there, and he lets it's okay, so we had the conversation about progressive R&B and traditional R&B.
Mhm.
This is straight up traditional R&B. No doubt about it. Ain't playing no games. You don't get no pop songs.
Mhm.
You don't get no pop tracks. No like fast paced. No, this is straight up like begging, crying. Like they talk about in Kings of Comedy. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Okay.
Like they say they don't beg no more. Like, no, they beg and they cry. Please, David, please. You know what I mean? Like I regret everything. Kind of R&B.
Mhm.
Right? And
Okay.
there's like there may be like one or two. I think there's one like baby making tracks on there. Like there's one. There's one.
Mhm.
But even that song may have been like reminiscent of the relationship that's like torn asunder, that
Yeah.
he's talking about a lot of like regrets and crying and
Mhm.
divorce
Mhm.
and stuff. But the theme is consistent. The music reaches back to the Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder era in terms of the instrumentation.
Mhm.
And it's consistent. It's like dude was playing a role. He embodied that role from start to finish. It's got to be his most complete work, top to bottom to date. I didn't skip a track.
Really?
I didn't skip a track. I've listened to it multiple times, and I have yet to skip a track.
Okay.
And it's R&B, and I raise an eyebrow for R&B albums because I'm like, it ain't what it used to be. I'm like shaking my fist. But I'm very skeptical about R&B albums. But I've learned that okay, you have the progressive R&B stuff now. So I'm like, okay, I have an ear for that. I know what it is. I know what I'm getting myself into. But people that like try to like slide in as if they're like traditional R&B, I'm very skeptical. And like, he's like, bro, I'm from back in the day, and I'll show you. And he nailed it. So I think definitely for the traditional R&B, this may be it. I think not only we have our nominee, man, we might have the winner.
Really?
The winner for traditional R&B, Tyrese.
Is that still a category?
It's one of those. It's one of those like you win this, like don't come back kind of thing.
Okay. Well.
What were you saying? Is that the what?
Is that still a category though?
Yeah. Traditional R&B still a category. You could get that. Man, it's like so refreshing to like see somebody like commit to it like that, like fully commit in terms of like you can hear it in his. He's like going through that stuff.
That's what he knows though. That's what.
He might be talking. It might really be one of those ones that's like it really hit close to home.
Yeah,
for him, you know what I mean. And so like you can't help but put it on the wax. Put it on wax. So that's I'm happy for him. He got another one out right there. We've been probably like people forget like that like he was an artist, but he's like legit. He's had several albums. I don't know if I got this in my note down here. This is like
I don't know why people don't put respect on Tyrese's name. The guy was an accomplished singer and obviously an
Yeah.
accomplished actor. Like he's not just some
No, but
random
I
little-
think people like
yeah.
be like, oh, he was an okay. He was okay. Wait, that baby boy was legit, like tour de force. Like his acting was
Mm.
amazing in that joint.
Yeah.
But I think more people. I mean, I guess depending on the generation, might associate him more with acting than they do with like some
Yeah.
people never heard Ice-T rap.
Yes, that's true.
And if you listen to Ice-T
That's
rap,
true.
you'd be like, wait, this dude's a cop on the
Yeah.
show?
Mm-hmm.
This Ice-T?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and like he's a cop, you know.
That's true.
So it's weird, you know. People
Mhm.
might not associate Tyrese with. They might have heard like 2 Tyrese albums, and then like just knew him as an actor from
Mhm.
that point forward. Baby Boy, your Fast and Furiouses and stuff like that. But man, he did his thing, put his foot in it. Um,
Mm.
My Beautiful Pain. It's a paradox, uh, but it works because he's consistent throughout the songs and the themes. Where he's singing about, old relationships, but he's like reminiscing on them as well,
Mm.
and remembering those good times.
Mhm.
And he talks about it, he sings about it, those
Mhm.
good times. But the relationship is over, so it's like he has the pleasure of remembering the good times, but the pain of it being over. So and he's consistent. It's a well thought out album, well produced, well managed. The theme is consistent throughout. No cap, straight up traditional R&B of the year. He's got my vote.
Yeah, I mean, you're selling it. I will say that. It's selling it, but I guess
Hey,
we'll see how it
I'm
goes.
not one to normally be in the camp of promoting Tyrese or anything he does in this trip, but like, this is it. This guy, gotta give him what credit is due.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Them the vibes.
Mhm.
Check those album out. Thanks for listening, and remember, like and subscribe.